Let's look at the Magento 2 file system. This module will discuss the file system structure within Magento 2 and where critical files are located.
Here are Magento 2's 8 root folders. App includes core code, custom modules, themes, and global configuration. Bin has the Magento script, which is the Magento 2 command line tool described earlier. Dev includes different scripts and tools useful for developers. Lib includes external libraries not installed through the composer. For the repo cloning installation, it includes the Magento framework, lib internal Magento framework. Vendor, the composer folder which contains all the dependencies. It may also include Magento framework and core modules for composer-based installation. Pub, folder that should be public on the host. This folder has a static subfolder where all static files need to be placed in production. Static files can be located in themes and modules, so moving them all to pub static is not a trivial task. There is a special command available within the command line tool which allows for that. However, as it takes a while to accomplish this and is not convenient for development, there is also a static PHP file that locates and returns static files from the modules and themes. Setup, folder that contains installation-specific files. Var, an important folder where cache, logs, and other files, like uploaded CSV files, are stored.
Depicted here are the contents of an app folder. App etc includes global configuration, app code, custom modules, and in the case of cloning repo installation, core modules, app design, themes, app i18n, specific translation files, app bootstrap.php, app autoload.php, and app functions.php are 3 special PHP files that must be included at the very beginning of execution process. The slide describes where Magento 2 code is located. It can be separated to application code, main code, and framework code. Main code includes Magento 2 application logic, while framework contains general code not related to any specific feature. Magento code is mainly organized as modules. A module is a folder with a specific structure that contains code, a structural unit of code. You can perform an operation with a module, update, disable, and so on. Framework is also structured as a set of folders with code, like core, but they are just folders, not a module. This is an important point. Although framework and the main core code at first glance look similar, both a set of folders with code, they are not. Framework's folders are just folders, while main code folders are modules. Magento code is organized in the following way. There is a folder, app code, which is where most of the PHP code is located. The code is packaged inside modules. Each module belongs to a vendor. In the native Magento installation, there is only one vendor, Magento. When you create custom code, you can create additional vendors. So, for code under app code, the folder structure is app code vendor, and inside this folder is the list of modules. PHP code installed under the vendor directory is located using the Composer autoloader, so the vendor namespace and module name folders follow the Composer convention of using all lowercase. The module then adds itself to the Composer autoloader list with its uppercase vendor and module name. For an example, please consult your participant guide.
On the slide, you can see some components of the Magento framework. Please note, framework component is technically not a module in the sense discussed above. The diagram shows possible subfolders of a module folder. Note that the only required folder is etc. The structure is not as strict as in Magento 1, so a module might have any subfolder. Also, a developer can place a file in any subfolder. However, the listed folders correspond to different list types, so this structure is historical and should be retained. The most popular are blocks for blocks, controller for controller actions, helper for helpers, model where models and resource models are located, setup for schema and data patches, view for layout XML files, templates, and static view files. Note that the file name must repeat the folder structure, starting from vendor module name. For example, the class of the file vendor magento module-catalog model product.php. The capital letter folders usually have special meaning. They will be covered in more depth in the next unit, Unit 2. The view folder is distinct and will be covered extensively in Unit 3. However, we'll take a quick look at it now. To see a typical module file structure, visit the link on your screen.
This slide shows the different subfolders within the View folder for a module. Their names are self-explanatory, and we will discuss them in more detail in Unit 3. As we mentioned, modules are located in the app code or vendor folder. All the native modules are located in the app code Magento folder. In Magento 1, templates were separated from the PHP code, making modules difficult to package. Now, in Magento 2, it is much easier. In Magento 1, all templates were located in the app design folder and grouped by themes and packages. In Magento 2, all templates and layout XML files are located in the View folder. This makes modules more granular as all associated files are packaged within one folder. Within the View folder are directories corresponding to design areas, namely Front-End, Admin HTML, and Base. They contain folders such as Templates, Layout, and Web. The template folders contain the .phtml files, layout folders contain layout files, and the web folders contain files that are requested by the browser directly, like CSS and JavaScript. From one point of view, this is a good thing because everything is within the module directory and can be easily packaged for distribution. On the other hand, there is no longer direct access for browsers to the module web page resource files, which makes things more complicated. Magento provides a special mechanism for accessing them in developer mode, and a command line tool to copy static files into the pub folder for production mode.
Magento 2 houses all the custom design elements in one folder located in the folder App Design. Native out-of-the-box themes could be found in the Vendor Magento folder. In the subfolders Theme-Frontend-Luma, Theme-Frontend-Blank, Theme-Admin-HTML-Backend. Magento 2 introduces a new concept for the platform, themes, which contain static web assets, templates, and layout files.
In this video, we will speak about static assets. So let us take a look what happens when we load any page in Magento. You see, it loads a lot of different static resources, especially CSS files, JS files. Those are most interesting for us. Two special CSS files, styles M and styles S, styles L and styles M CSS, which are very important, and many JS files. So let's take a look at some of those files and see where do they come from. We have a lot of JS files. So for example, authentication pop-up file. So we can see its path. Let's open it in a separate tab, in a new tab. Oh, yes, we open it, but it's HTML. So we have to see it in the source. So here we can see its source. It's HTML file that we downloaded. But let's now take a look at this file. So you can see that it's located in the static, some version, frontend, Magento, Luma, NUS, Magento customer template, authentication pop-up HTML. So this file, the static file, HTML file, belongs to Magento customer module. But you see this strange path. So let's locate this file. This file is located in the pub folder, in the pub static. There is no version, so a version is added automatically. And then it's in the front end, in Magento, Luma, and NUS. And then it's Magento customer module. And in Magento customer module, we would have this authentication pop-up. Let's open also it in the terminal. Pub, static, frontend, Magento, Luma, NUS, Magento customer, templates, and here we go. We see this authentication pop-up being a symlink to a physical file, which is located in our document root. So this is how Magento operates with static assets in developer mode. So we can remove it, authentication pop-up, and let's try to hit it again. And we can hit it again, and we got it again. Now, if you take a look here, we will see this file generated again. So how does it work? Let's remove it once again. The tricky thing is that Magento will redirect every static content that comes from pub static folder, it will generate it on fly. So every request will, if the resource does not exist, every request would be redirected to static.php file. Let's test it. Let's say exit, hi there, just to check. Now we go to our resource and let's refresh our file. So hi there. If this HTML file does not exist, this request would be redirected to static.php, and static.php will locate the requested file in the module folder and generate a symlink. And this mechanism only works for Magento in the developer and default mode. In production mode, Magento will not generate static files, and you have to generate it with a special command and deploy them all into this folder. This will work much faster, but it generates huge inconveniences in development. In this video, we will speak about static assets.
When should static files be placed in a theme rather than in a specific module? Select your answer or answers and then click Submit.